Hello, this is Hussein Gandhi with the Part 2B series of home purchase on installments. This is for buyers who do not want to deal with bank interest payments. These are the buyers who already have a substantial down payment. If you do not have a substantial down payment and you're looking to collect a down payment to buy a home, you should watch Part 2A series in which I show you how my program can help you get enough of money down. Now, once you have enough of money down, about 35%, that's when this program comes into effect, and I will show you how you could perhaps look at purchasing a home entirely on, without interest and without involving the bank. So it's a home purchase on installments for buyers who already have the significant down payment but do not want to deal with banks or interest payments. Specifically designed for our Muslim brothers and sisters. Let's look at a case study. And using the example of the case study, I'll show you why I developed this program. Let's say the Khan family wants to buy a home, but they do not want to pay interest to follow the tenets of Islam of not to deal with any interest. The home they want currently is worth $500,000 and they've saved up $175,000. That's about 35%. In all likelihood, they'd be able to go to a bank and get a mortgage for the rest of the money, but they're choosing not to do that because they do not believe in giving or taking interest. They have a property back home and want to time the sale of the property. This could be, let's say, India or Pakistan or wherever. They have a property and they believe they could sell the property in 3 to 5 years' time and get $150,000. If they were to dispose of the property right now, they might not get the best price for the property. Now, this is assuming that the Khan family has another property which they can sell back home to get $150,000. It works even if you do not have such a property, but we are looking at this example. And let's look at the current rent is $2,000 per month for a property which is worth $500,000. That's pretty much the standard right now. For a property worth 500,000, you'd be able to find a property and the rent would be about $2,000 in the GTA, more or less. Now they can save a maximum of $3,000 per month after the expenses, which include rent. So after they pay their rent and their groceries and car expenses, the maximum they can save is $3,000 per month. Now let's look at if they want to attempt to buy the home, how long would it actually take them? Current value of the home is $500,000 and they have $175,000. They can save an additional of $3,000 per month. The percentage of the value of home. Remember, you need to collect 100% of the value of the home. Now, traditionally, the home values in the GTA have gone up by 10 to 15% per annum. Let us be very conservative and assume that the property prices increase by only 6%. There'll be no years wherein it increases significantly more than 6%. Let's assume that 6% is what your property increases. In year one, the property increased by 6%, so the home value is 530,000. Year two, it increases 6% from this 530 value, it's 562,000. So on and so forth. By the 8th year, the same property which was $500,000 would be $796,000 at a conservative 6% increase in terms of price. Now let's look at the savings of Mr. Khan. he has $175,000 to begin with, and you save $3,000 per month. That's $36,000 for the year. You add that, it's 211,000, which is 40%. Then it's 247,000, 44%. You look at this, that he's saving the same amount, $36,000, but the amount of percentage of home of the payment he saved up uh, keeps on getting less. So from year 1 to year 2, he has 5% extra saved up. From year 1, from the next year, he has 4% saved up. From year 2 to year 3, there's 3% saved up. Now let's look at um, what happens if it continues that same way, and in year 5 he has made a sale of the property in back home for $150,000, and he gets that money. So he would have $505,000. That's represents 75% of the value of the property, estimated 6 years from now, at a very conservative level. He still cannot purchase the entire property if he does not want to borrow money. Year 6, the after saving $36,000 more, it's just 76%. And look at year 7 and year 8. Though he's saving more money, the amount of percentage of the value of the home he has saved up would continue to be only 77%, because the increase is a lot higher than the increase in prices would be a lot higher than the $36,000 which he'd be actually saving. What happens in this case? As you can see, based on this chart, the Khan family may never be able to buy a home. And in fact, I do know a lot of Muslim families who've chosen to be, uh, renter their entire life or tenant their entire life. I know of families who earn $150,000, $200,000 per year, and yet they rent their property because there is no halal method of purchasing the home, and that's the reason why I developed my home purchases on installment. Now, this is for buyers who do not want to deal with bank or interest payments. It is to help people like the Khans I created this program, which is absolutely interest free. Let me show you how this program would work. The buyer renter, in our case the Khans, agree to buy the property within a time period they are comfortable with. Let's say 5 years. So they enter into a contract to purchase the home uh, 5 years from now, and they lock in today's prices. The price is $500,000, right? They add the rental payment, which would be in 5 years' time. So $2,000 per month is $24,000 for the year. That into 5 years is $120,000. They add the rental payment to the cost price of the home. So now the contract purchase price is the home price, which is $500,000, plus the 5 year rental is becomes $620,000. Now, mind you, they choosing to do 5 years. A person might choose to do 1 year. A person might choose to do 10 years. The flexibility is in your court. You need to tell me what you would be comfortable with, and then I will be able to come up with the properties which match your criteria. So now let's look at the same example. Here, Mr. Khan has agreed to purchase the home at $620,000 in 5 years from now, but the home value is 668,000. So he's, as it is, purchasing the home at a discount compared to what he would have otherwise been able to purchase it 5 years from now, even if he had 100% of the entire money. Now they live rent free. All the contribution goes towards the purchase price. Now, why? Because of that, earlier they were paying $2,000 rent, and they were able to save $3,000 per month. Now they are able to contribute $5,000 towards the purchase price. And there is a provision for Mr. Khan's, or whoever the buyer is, to back out of the deal with a small penalty. So in our particular case, he has on day one, or on day zero, he has $175,000 down. Now $5,000 per month equals to $60,000 per year. So $175,000 plus $60,000 is $235,000. Plus $60,000 is $295,000. Plus $60,000 is $355,000. Plus $60,000 is $415,000. And then remember, he sold his property back home for $150,000. That's where he gets the remaining of the money from. He has $150,000, but he does not even need all of that, because all he needs is $145,000 to purchase the home at $620,000. Now, why would the Khans do this, or anybody else for that matter do this? They lock in the price. Instead of playing the game wherein the property prices keep on running away from you and making it impossible for our Muslim brothers and sisters to be purchasers of the home in an halal method, we lock in the price today. It is completely interest free. This is the same amount of rent which you would have otherwise paid. It's not an extra amount of rent or any interest charged on the balance, or any of a concocted method of using interest. If the home prices rise, you can profit from it. If the home prices fall, you can pay the penalty and get out of the deal. And you can decide for how long the rental period is, 1 year to 10 years. So in our example, Mr. Khan, they were anticipating a lump sum in year 5. But let's assume that you do not have that luxury of a property back home, and you want to extend a 10-year period. We just add 10 years of rent to the purchase price, and all your contributions goes towards the home ownership. Now, I'm sure you have so many questions as to how this system works, and it is not designed, this video is not designed to answer all your questions. In fact, if this concept is of interest to you, call me or send me an email at agenthussain@gmail.com, or call or text me at 647-293-3575. We will meet and we will see whether I can service your real estate needs through a halal fashion. And anything which I suggest we do, because this is not a very well-known concept, in fact I have developed it myself, we will go through a lawyer and we will make sure that you know what you are actually getting into, and anything which I'm suggesting is in fact vetted by the lawyer. But if